Oh my, oh my. Well, look at you there. You're just perusing YouTube, going along, looking for old rock and roll dusty gems to scrutinize, perhaps, and you stumbled upon me, Clark the Shark, at 1-800-449-8255, the most fabulous album reviewer slash talk radio guy slash musician. I don't, whatever you want to call me, baby. I'm Clark the Shark from the Golden EIB Sharkraphone, coming to you from Los Angeles, California on April 5, 2023, baby. And you know they love Sharky everywhere. Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Andromeda, that other galaxy. I'm I'm not even talking about the Milky Way. You know, everywhere. Uranus, especially they love Sharky there. Heaven, hell, purgatory, baby, all these trapped souls and ghosts and people, wandering spirits. They're like, I need my Sharky. Only Sharky can free me, baby, from my chains, my misery. I need my shark at 1-800-449-8255. Everybody admits they gotta have some Sharky at least once a day, baby. And you might even want to play the Beach Boys' Friends album right here on the Clark the Shark Show, which I am about to review. This 1968 epic, amazing, incredible album. I mean, this album here is right there with Pet Sounds and Wild Honey and maybe Surf's Up. It sounds like Ray Davies and Dave Davies produced it along with Mark Volman and Howard Kalin or something. Brian Wilson. Yeah, dude, totally. All the geniuses in this democracy called the Beach Boys. All these guys contribute. Is it mainly Brian Wilson? Yeah, of course. He's the genius. But Mike Love, Dennis Wilson, all of them, Carl, all of them are always contributors to all the great, amazing Beach Boys albums that begin in the 60s, go through the 70s. And I really compare the Kinks and Ray Davies' golden period with the Beach Boys' golden era. To me, they're like one and the same. And Frank Zappa, I can't I can't decide what's better. It's all so amazing. Now, this album, to frame this amazing album, Friends, 1968, it might be the best Beach Boys album, pound for pound, song for song, of these Beach Boys albums in the golden era of Brian Wilson. I don't know. It's hard to say. Wild Honey is awesome. Now, these two albums, Wild Honey 1967, and then this one, 1968, they're freakishly ahead of their time. When you're listening to the Beach Boys, where they are just experimental up the wazoo, baby, beginning with Pet Sounds, but even before that, these guys experiment like no other band. And, all the acid and the marijuana and alcohol and all the drugs, love them or hate them, they contribute here to these incredible albums. And even I, Clark the Shark from the Greenhouse Effect, I will admit that alcohol fueled Star, Ben is Dead, and White Black Thing, and Hey Negrita, and Waiting for Your Love to Fail. And all my music was fueled by marijuana and alcohol. And believe me, you guys, I was a conservative guy. I went to church. I was always into the Lord, and I was on some divine mission. Like, I'm Clark the Shark, and even though I party and I get drunk every day and every weekend, and I'm a hypocrite, I'm still better than those liberals up in Hollywood and all those liberals back east. And I'm Clark the Shark. I'm better than everybody, and I'm going to save the world. And in some weird way, Brian Wilson and Dennis Wilson and all these guys in the Beach Boys, Mike Love, they're on a divine mission. They're just the opposite of Clark the Shark. They're like liberals or something, or I don't know what they are, but they're like on a divine mission to change the world with these albums. And maybe they failed and they didn't succeed, but with me, Clark the Shark, they succeeded, baby. And I was like, man, I love Brian Wilson because he's on a divine mission. Like I don't know if he believes in God. Maybe he does or he doesn't. I don't even care because his music and his cadence, like his ethics, are so amazing. Even all said, he's such a weirdo. He's just a drug addict, just a crazy guy. He's an adult child, just like it's portrayed. I mean, or it really is. All of the Beach Boys, they're like these immature weirdos. You know, I've never talked to any of them. I've never had the honor of meeting them, but from what I hear, when you talk to Mike Love or any of these guys, are just like nodding their head. They're just like, yeah, man. They agree to like anything you say. They're just weirdo guys. And I always say all of us, conservatives, liberals, Republicans, Democrats, we are all one because we're all trying to get to the same thing. We're trying to get to some freedom. The Democrat liberal way to me doesn't make sense because they want more government control and they want this big entity that puts everyone down and it's better than everyone, and they make fun of people and they call people retards who don't agree with them, or they ban and delete you if you don't agree with liberals. They won't talk to you and they'll shun you and they'll try to get rid of you. They'll even try to sue you or prosecute you or convict you or indict you if you don't agree with liberals and Democrats. And I'm like, man, in some weird way, I'm like, that's amazing. If we Republicans and conservatives are going to sit here and let them do that, if we're just going to be idiots that don't fight back and they know it, then maybe we deserve it on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255. But Brian Wilson, he is not really political, but he is. I mean, these beautiful Beach Boys albums that are trying to get to the truth, and they're trying to paint a portrait of the planet Earth. For better or for worse, like it or not, take it or leave it, the Beach Boys are like, we are an eclectic blend of weirdness on like 5, 6, 7, 8 albums in a row that are all incredible. Right up to the Beach Boys' Love You, the one album that's basically a Brian Wilson solo album that's just incredible, but they're all incredible. Every Beach Boys album, even the lame ones at the end of the 70s, still have merit, you guys. And I want you to buy every Beach Boys album for these 5 amazing guys that are just such weirdos. They're just stoned out of their mind, and they're just like, we're vegetarians. She's going bald, and I'm a vegetarian. They're just smiley smile, Surf's Up, Friends, Wild Honey, all the albums, man. Of course, Pet Sounds, amazing. The Beach Boys are just incredible. And I don't even agree with them, or maybe I do. And I just love it because I love eclectic, weird shit that just is trying too hard to be awesome or just trying too hard to be weird. And this album from 1968, Friends, is just, every song is incredible here. Just like a Kinks album with Ray Davies, every fucking song is amazing with the Beach Boys. And these guys, man, these geniuses. This is a democracy. It's not all Brian Wilson. It's all 5 guys and 6 guys, that other guy too. Oh, man. And then that album, Carl and the Passions, where they had the 2 new guys. Ricky Fattar, of course, from the Ruddles. Amazing. But I want to talk about this album that should get all 5 stars, you guys. Come on. Where's the... Oh, well, baby. 4 stars, but it should get 5. This is one of the greatest albums ever recorded. That guy's a genius. Amazing drummer. Just amazing all around guy. It's so sad that he left us too early, man. Sad, but man, dude, Meant for You. The way it starts out with just this Kinks like amazing song. It sounds like Ray Davies, and I even think Ray Davies ripped it off because he loved Meant for You so much. It's awesome. Just a 38 seconds. It's just it gets you going though. It's a great way to start this album and get you ready for one amazing album where every song is good. And of course, Friends, the classic. It's only 2:32. I wish it was 3:32. I wish there was more guitar and just more crazy shit on this album that rocks, but in some weird way I don't. I love this album just the way it is, you guys. 1-800-449-8255. The Clark the Shark Show from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. Friends is just so gifted. You know, Carl Wilson, Brian Wilson. Awesome. Great melodic track. Of course, Wake the World is awesome. You know, love it, man. We do got to wake the world. All of us on the right and the left. We got to agree to get rent lower and cut down on the greed, man. It's not just Republicans that are greedy. It's you Democrats, too. All of us. Libertarians, everybody. We're all greedy. We're all out to make money and charge people $10,000 a month for rent. And we hope they got 10 people from El Salvador living there, or 10 people from Ukraine or Moldova living in the building so we can gouge them and soak them for rent. We got to knock off that thinking, people. We got to get back to waking the world where we all just pay $9.50, but we have a beautiful home for everybody of all colors, all languages, living in America. Not just trying to make it so Democrat voters can live 9 people in a building and it costs $8,000 a month, and then the American people get kicked out of the building and they end up homeless living in a tent. We got to wake the world, people, like the Beach Boys, and get rid of the greed and make rent cheap so we all can get an apartment, you guys. Come on and be here in the morning. Awesome song, very catchy, melodic. Awesome, man, Brian Wilson. He has a role in every song. Of course he does, but it's all of them. They're all writing. When a man needs a woman, man, they make a baby, baby. I wish Clark the Shark back in the day. Man, I just wanted to have sex, you know, and now I regret it. I wish back in the day I made a baby. I wish, you guys, but my energy was just do it, you know. Passing By. Awesome song. Awesome. Brian Wilson. Democracy, though, man. They're all singing. They're all singing. I love the blend of all the harmonies, these amazing, catchy, melodic, atmospheric songs, you guys, on this album, 1968. But of course, side 2 gets better. Anna Lee. Now, I'm going to keep it clean, you guys. I think that's kind of like the Who, you know, Mary Ann with the shaky hands. Anna Lee, she got the healing hands, you guys. I'm going to keep it clean. It's a family show. Come on, Sharky. Let's not go there. But Anna Lee, come on. It's about a girl giving you a back rub. And you guys, your mind is in the gutter. And Little Bird is awesome. Awesome. Dennis Wilson, awesome. Buy this album, you guys. Buy it. Be Still, awesome. Gosh, awesome. Dennis Wilson is starting to contribute, you guys, on side 2. And Busy Doing Nothing, like my favorite song on the album, because that's me, Clark the Shark. I'm just always busy doing nothing here on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255, where my life is just busy doing nothing. But you guys are loving my show, and my audience is growing. Some people are following and befriending and they're like, I like Clark the Shark. And some people are quitting because they're like, I don't like this guy. He's a weirdo. At 1-800-449-8255. Some of you newbies are like, I'm getting out of here. I don't want to know this Clark the Shark because I can tell nobody likes him, or maybe they all secretly love him, or I don't know, but it's just too weird. It feels too weird at the Clark the Shark show on the Golden EIB microphone, Sharkerphone, whatever it is, because Shark's just busy doing nothing. And the Diamond Head, the instrumental, I love it, you guys. Killer. Now, you want to talk about an album, both sides are melodic, atmospheric, catchy, ambient, great songwriting, everybody contributing. I know you guys think these albums are all Brian Wilson, and they are, but all those other Beach Boys, you gotta have them. You know, they're part of the show here, you guys. And actually, the other Beach Boys were getting mad, and these guys were all starting to say, hey, Brian, let us contribute. You know, we want to be part of the band. And this guy, Dennis, is like, yeah, come on, man. All of us. We're not just down at the beach, you know, surfing. We don't even surf, the Beach Boys. We don't even surf. But we make amazing albums. We, the Beach Boys, at 1-800-449-8255, the Clark the Shark Show. And you will not find a more amazing, incredible album than 1968, Friends. Is it better than Wild Honey? I think so, or maybe equal, but it didn't sell. It wasn't a big seller, and a lot of people were back then and now were like saying, what's wrong with the Beach Boys? You know, that this isn't very good. You gotta listen, you guys. You listen to these albums in headphones. Pay attention. Get in a hot bath and listen. You know, get the CD if you have to, and put it on a nice CD player. Play this album loud or quiet down low, and you will discover 1968, Friends by the Beach Boys, is one of their most amazing albums. But all of their albums are like this. They are all good. Solid meat and potatoes, even great. I think this album is great. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 11. It is truly remarkable. But then again, what would you would only expect that from Brian Wilson, Dennis Wilson, all of them, Carl Wilson, Mike Love, all of them, Al, all of them, and that other guy, man, I don't even know his name, Johnston, whatever. He's part of it too, and he writes songs on their albums, and everyone contributes. Here, Carl and the Passions, that album, man, what an album. And Holland, oh fuck, man, what an album. And of course, Surf's Up, the classic, amazing, from 1971. But I love this album, you guys. 1968, Friends, the Beach Boys. I want you to buy it. Try to find the vinyl and buy it. But of course, go to Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, Napster, Ripple Tunes. I don't care where you buy it. Go to a record store and find the vinyl to this, man. Be like Clark the Shark. Go to the Rhodium in Torrance and look for the vinyl. Even if it's an old scratchy vinyl, it's going to be expensive. You're going to pay some money for it. But if you can find the new vinyl that's brand new and still in the plastic, of course that's not going to be the authentic vinyl. That's going to be one of those new vinyls, but they're still good. And I hear a lot of those come from analog. They're not digital, so they sound great. Even if they do come from digital, you guys, I don't think digital sounds that bad. All of my music with the Greenhouse Effect is on digital, and it sounds fucking killer. And I've remastered it, remixed a lot of it recently, but I really haven't done that much. It pretty much sounds the same. I hear a lot of people in the South Bay now, Torrance, Redondo, Hermosa, they're like, oh, Clark's just good now because he remixed and he remastered his music. But that's really not true. I really haven't done that much. I went into a studio down in San Diego in like 2011, 2012 with a guy named Randy Renner, and I remixed a bunch of the Greenhouse Effect songs from 91 and 1992. And really, I just made them louder. I didn't change the mix, or that's what they call remastering or loud mastering. But honestly, in some way they sound worse because they have more mid-range on them. And I would recommend, if you have a band right now and you want to, I would remix your original tapes. Don't remaster them. And this album here, Beach Boys Friends, I can tell it's been remastered. It does sound great, but I hear a lot of hiss and a lot of high end and too much of that scratchy high end. Sometimes I like that. If it's up loud, I can't really tell and it sounds great. But sometimes too much mid-range and high end, and even, the bass starts to sound muddled and fuzzy. I just like it if you can find the original analog vinyl or the original analog CD and play those. And you're going to love them, man. The Beach Boys' Wild Honey, 1967, or, Smiley Smile, or the new Smile that Brian Wilson has compiled, how that album now, how it would have originally sounded back in 1967. And he says, buy the Smile from today, the Smile, not Smiley Smile, and listen to that album. Because Brian says that album, with all the bonus tracks, they're not really bonus tracks. He has recompiled and put together that album. And he said, this is the album how it would have been to the 90 percentile. And I agree. That album, Smile, from today is awesome. Of course, Smiley Smile from 1967 was awesome, you guys. It's just so weird, and I'm going to review that. It is weird, and you almost get high and drunk listening to the album. It's or like you're stoned. It's almost like when you listen to the Kinks' Muswell Hillbillies. That album makes you feel drunk. When you listen to it, you're sober and you're listening to the album, you actually feel like you're drinking. I'm not kidding you guys. Well, the Beach Boys albums are like that. You almost feel like you're on LSD listening to them. They are so fucking weird. At 1-800-449-8255, the fabulous, amazing Clark the Shark Show, where you just got the word and you got the only review that you will ever need of this melodic, ambiance, acoustic, clean guitar, lots of keyboards, piano, great vocal harmonies, backing vocals, great singing, great atmosphere. The Beach Boys, Friends, 1968. I'm Clark the Shark, baby, and you just got the word on one of the greatest albums ever recorded that I want you to go buy right now at iTunes, Amazon, wherever, Spotify. The Beach Boys, Friends, 1968, an incredible journey of an album. You might think these songs are too short, but listen to them a lot and you will realize that just like Neil Young, sometimes a short song is a sweet song, baby. Think, Cripple Creek Ferry. And that's how these songs are. They're too short, but they're sweet and they're nice. And just like Wild Honey, killer little demo of an album. Maybe not as good as the fabulous Pet Sounds or Surf's Up, but still amazing. The Beach Boys, 1968, friends. And you are friends of mine right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And I want you to buy this record on vinyl if you can find it, or not. Buy it on CD. I'm Clark the Shark, and I'm out of here, baby. Peace.